Hello everybody, welcome to the Devstream breakdown, and it is Devstream breakdown for number 54 of the Devstreams. We got a lot of good information today. Not exactly what I wanted again. I still want the star chart information the most because I think it's going to be the most important change that we're going to get anytime soon. But we got a lot of the stuff that we wanted to see, so let's get something that I don't really care about out of the way right off of the bat. This is some more of the head design type things that we are going to get for the more feline pet type. That was kind of addressed at the top, so I figured I would address it at the top as well, because I don't think it is particularly important, and we will get to the released preview images soon. Okay, but one of the things that they talked about a little bit right off the top, which is really nice, is next week we're getting our Excalibur rework. He's coming out. And we found out that his 4 has an automatic parry as a defense, so you're always parrying while you're in it. We will see how that works, because I'm not... As it stands, parrying is really good, but I don't know if it's going to take away from stamina. So it'll really depend. It'll really depend on how it works, if it's going to be good, and I don't think we're going to see if it's really, really good until the changes to parkour are made, in which it could become insanely overpowered. And that is coming next week if you are on PC. There will be a video about it, absolutely. It's going to just, I'll have to go through and play a bunch of missions as Excalibur and just reevaluate him from scratch, because he'll be very changed. Very, very changed indeed. So, that is happening next week, and then by the time he managed to go get his notes, we got some information on the Frost rework, which is going to be the next frame rework to make him better. Right off the top, he said something about him not having a passive yet, and because passives haven't been introduced, I think that might be a little accidental reveal that nobody really noticed, that we are maybe getting passives soon, which we need. We don't need them. They would be nice. I think they would add to more of the flavor of what a Warframe is particularly for, and it could give buffs where they're needed for certain Warframes. But in his rework, he does not have a passive yet. But his power 1 is the same roughly, except for you can hit environments and make ice traps, basically like the Xmas does. You would put out an area and it would be a trap of slow, and whenever you freeze the enemies, currently the way that his one works is you freeze them, and if they take any damage that isn't shield damage, they are unfrozen. They're changing that to have a different type of damage threshold, which I think is going to be better and is going to make his one incredibly good. Like it was probably at first intended to be, before the Corpus were the only ones with shields for the most part. So that is an amazing change, and I think will make his one very, very powerful as a good crowd control skill. And then his second power is not changing much. It's going to have a 100% chance to slow, and it's going to fan out in a cone as opposed to just go down a straight line. I don't know why I'm talking with my hands so much. Look at these hands. Anyway, that is a less interesting change. Still an improvement, and I think it's going to be a better skill for it. But that's what's going on with that. And then his third power, which, as we all know, is Frost's good power, as it stands right now, is going to have no timer and will have a maximum of 4 that you can have out at a time. And it'll still scale how it does now, so it should be inherently better that there won't be a timer. And they want to make it more useful in regular room-based combat as you're moving through a level. So they sort of alluded to maybe a creeping slow effect coming out of them, which would be hilariously good. And I think that would make Frost more of a mainstay frame that you would see a lot more in just kind of a general use. He'll still be slow, of course, but just that enhancement of his power that was already good and really useful in defense, I think that could make him just easily a top-tier frame. And then, to go along with the top-tierness of him being a frame, his 4 is going to remain the same with some added benefits. Enemies that are frozen by avalanche and then crack out of it alive will have their armor reduced. So at high levels, that is not, you're not fucking around. If you're reducing enemy armor, you're doing some good shit. Especially if that reduction is let's say by half. That's a lot of damage that you are now able to do to enemies that you just did damage to. So that makes it a power that you want to use at all like levels of play, which I think is going to be really nice. And then enemies that do die from it are going to become like ice bombs, which in low level stuff, that sounds like, I don't know if that's okay. Because if you can freeze like an entire wave of Grenier, and the next wave would come in, and then they would die, and it would be great. And that's what I want. That's what I want. I want Frost to be really good. Because Frost was one of the first frames that I played, and I was like, this is my guy I'm gonna farm with for a long, long time. And he's still good for that stuff. But if they make these improvements, he'll be more robust in what he's really doing, besides just hitting 3 every once in a while to keep the pod alive. And then in other minor changes. Changes to arcanes. With the new cosmetics coming out, obviously people don't want arcanes stuck on their old Syndanas and helmets and what have you. They're going to implement a way that you can transfer a arcane between different cosmetics. And they said it's not going to be like as easy as switching out a mod, though. You're going to have to do something Syndicate related to maybe get like a special item that costs a lot of like reputation points or what have you. And that seems fine. For those people that want to farm those arcanes. I am not one of them, unfortunately. I don't think the arcanes are worth it on a level that makes me want to run the raid that much. So there's that. And then, okay, back to previewing things. We have a new cosmetic type, which is capes. And this was shown off. I'm pretty excited for this because I really like capes. I don't know what to tell you. I like capes. And I think that it's going to look really cool. I get like, not really kind of even. I get a very Destiny vibe from this, and I have only watched people play Destiny. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, and I've heard Warframe and Destiny, like, compared a lot, so I don't know. Maybe some influence on the dev side that way. If you have played Destiny, obviously more so than me, I feel like I've seen stuff like this in that game. So I don't know. I want to be like told that I'm right or something. I don't know. Don't worry about it. Anyway, there is that. And then, in more important news than new cosmetics that I think are cool, we have the the tile set after the water tile set preview, which is the Orokin Moon. This is a really interesting choice that I think we might know more about whenever we destroy the Void. Because I think this might work into getting our prime parts somehow or something like that. I don't know. It could just be a cool new special tile set. We have a couple of images. This is all still obviously like incredibly early stuff that we don't know like much at all about yet. But like that's just what I'm predicting, is that it would be like a new area for certain prime parts to be, which is what I would want, just to split like the difference between where things are and what they are up to. So there is that. And then we also have 2 new weapons. We have the primary variant Gamma Core, which could potentially be incredibly good. I really like the design of this weapon. It's not exactly designed for me, but I think that it's like cool coming from the aesthetic that it's coming from. Like, with how the Synoid looks, it's very unique, and that's important as well. Not my thing, but if the damage output is right, it might just be what's up. Because if it's anything like the Synoid Gamma Core, it's going to pack some goddamn punch. So that weapon is cool. And then in melee terms, we have the Rapier. This is going to get its own animation set, and I believe it's going to be a puncture weapon, so we are maybe getting the real uptick of puncture melee weapons that we want soon. And I know rapiers are pretty neat weapons. Like, they're not usually my thing. I'm more of a greatsword guy. If you guys have been watching other stuff, you might know a little bit about that. But I think rapiers are a good choice for an addition to the game because they're relatively simple while still being interesting. And I think that will be a fun thing. And then, now we're going to get to the most important preview, which is the new Warframe. Okay, first is this. This is like in-game rigging that they have done of like the mesh for this Warframe, which isn't very impressive because it's just kind of there and it's just kind of nothing. Like there's not really like no lights, no flashies, no like super crazy things, and just kind of a rough outline. But then we have the concept art for Anima/Animus. It's actually more like 3 different Warframes, where you have the combined version, then you have Animus alone and the Anima alone, and you'll be able to switch between the forms, and the powers will change based on what form you are in. I was really not expecting there to be 3 forms, but the way that they talked about it, it seems like the combined form is more of like a you're on the Lizette type of form, where you're only going to be seeing that in like transferring between missions, and once you're in a mission, you're going to choose between being Animus or Anima, which is really interesting. And I think that this actually might be, surprisingly, because I like big heavy armor and like stupid dumb shit and mechs, I think this might be my favorite Warframe design concept, just because of like the mode switch, and like there's so like much to see with this Warframe. I really want them to be good. I really want them to be like amazing tier. Like we're talking like Nova Loki. Like that's where I want them to be. Of course I want all of the Warframes to be there, so that doesn't really say a whole lot. But yeah. That's the new Warframe, and I think it looks fucking amazing. Like this might be maybe my new wallpaper until it comes out. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. Anyway, that's outstanding, and I love it. And then next on the list we have the confirmation that stamina. I'm just gonna keep this up. I'm gonna move it to the side a little bit. We have the confirmation that stamina is totally going to be removed from the game once we get the new Parkour 2.0 system, which is amazing. I'm glad that that is confirmed, because that is like that is going to be a cornerstone of recent improvements once it comes to pass, I think, because it'll just make the game it'll take like it won't really add anything, but it will remove frustration with some like things just seeming contrived for the sake of fucking being there. Like, oh, we need a stamina system. Why? Don't look at me. I don't know why. We are robot people things. And it has always seemed like a system that has not made much sense to me. So I'm glad that they are removing it, and that's going to be an amazing, amazing thing. And I love that, of course. And then some of the things that were kind of like gone over is like they are trying to figure out improvements for shotguns and snipers, and like the question was asked like to themselves mostly, not really to chat or anything, like why are shotguns bad, why are snipers bad? And I think that even for me, as someone who really likes snipers and shotguns, the answer to that is sort of hard. And I think I know the answer to the snipers question just based on time that I've been able to think about it since the Devstream happened. The reason that snipers are bad is because bows exist, and in a PvE setting, more damage with a similar fire type is always going to be better, just because you want to kill an enemy in one shot. And if we get to the point where a sniper rifle and a bow both kill things in one shot, then the sniper rifle wins. Like, that's just how it will work. But where we are right now, a bow will kill more things and punctures and does all kinds of extra crazy shit, that I think that's the reason that snipers are bad. But the reason that shotguns are bad is, I think, hard to pin down. And a lot of it comes, I think, with the territory of engaging enemies at longer ranges and needing a ranged option. And I don't think shotguns have the range that they need to be that mid-close quarters weapon that they should be, with the one exception of the Heck, with that special mod that the Heck has. But that's my thoughts on like what I would change with shotguns and snipers, or like what their main problems are. So it's kind of relative and basic. And it's more like what those weapons inherently are, as opposed to like what needs to be changed about them. Okay. Anyway, to top this off, we gotta get rid of Anima because something very important was accidentally, probably not, revealed at the very end of the stream. They didn't say a damn thing about it, but this is what popped up at the very end of the stream. This is a Shuriken card, ability card, and it has Ash Prime on it. I'm just going to zoom in on that. So, I'm going to take this as complete confirmation that this is absolutely the next Prime. And it appears to have a Prime Vectis. I want to say that's a Vectis. So, new Prime Sniper Rifle coming with Sniper Rifle changes, plus we're getting Ash Prime. Also, he looks amazing. Ash is one of the frames that I really, really like, as it happens, and I'm almost certain I'm going to be very happy with this. At first, whenever I saw him, though, like, if the text wasn't there that reads Ash Prime, I would almost certainly tell you that this would be Necros. Just because of the, like, ornamentation on the head. It seems very Necros-y. But I'm happy with it also being Ash. He looks great. Like, a good-looking frame is a good-looking frame one way or another, and, like, that's how I'm going to see it, pretty much no matter what happens. I don't know why it is, why it's all in, was it Chinese? Maybe Chinese. Probably because the Chinese version of Warframe is coming out soon, I believe. I don't know. If somebody knows Chinese or Japanese or other languages, writing languages that involve squiggles that I don't know the meaning of, then you let me know what language that is, and I'll be glad to indulge you in some conversation. Anyway, on the next stream that they are doing in 2 weeks, of course, as per usual, or hopefully as per usual, we're going to be getting the new star chart, the new star chart, and Parkour 2.0 shown off in a more robust sense. And that sounds amazing. Also, at the beginning of this video, those of you who have been watching a bit may have noticed I added sound to the my little intro dealio. Let me know if you like that. I don't know. It seems like it's like just a merited improvement, like just straight up over being completely silent. But if people don't like it, I'm absolutely willing to remove it. So just tell me what you think about that. Also, on the front of like just how many of you there are now, it's like over like 400, and then there are other numbers that are not 40. Like after like 4, there are numbers that are not just 00. What the fuck is going on? That's amazing. And like that, I mean, that's just great to me that people want to see the stuff. And that, I mean, yeah, I don't even have words for how much I appreciate it that people like to watch my stuff. I mean, yeah, I mean, that's, yeah. So I can only say that I really appreciate it, and then I love that you guys, like, share my stuff and tell people and leave me, like, awesome comments. Like, the reason that I have now the sound at the beginning of the video is because at one point I had thought about it, and I was like, well, what should I do for sound? And I was like, I am really bad at deciding things, so I'm just going to leave it soundless. But then, of course, I read the comment, and it was like, you should add sound to this. It's kind of boring. Or, you know, along those lines. So it's really awesome to get feedback on, like, what you guys want to be changed. I don't know. I'm just going to cut this short, because these are supposed to be short wrap-ups. And I will see you guys all next time.